Welcome back to the Blue Garage, guys. I am Greg. We got a huge install from 404 Parts for the ZR2. One of your favorite videos of mine, one of my most popular videos, was the Upfitter Switch install on Big Blue. Guess what? We're doing the same thing, but for the refresh model of these Silverados for my ZR2. We got the Upfitter Switch panel ready to go here for you guys. So if you guys are enjoying the content so far, make sure we subscribe along the way. Make sure we hit that like button and hit that alert button as we progress through this video. So let's get started. All right, guys, so this is the Upfitter switches. As you see here, this is on the driver's side of your center console. This portion goes up over your center console, so kind of a cool location for these. And then this side wraps around the opposite side to the passenger side. Make sure you guys go to 404parts.com to get your own set of Upfitter switches, regardless of Silverado model 2019 to 2021 is available, and also the refresh 2022 and newer. Go get yours now. Use discount code TheBlueGarage. So let's see what else we got to get this project going. So we have our wiring harness here with our fuse box, some clips that are going to go under the hood and going to help us run our wire. Here we have our connectors, which will help run power to the switches. And then it feels like we have some hardware in here. Let's see. Can't find the end of it, just cut it open. This is all a bunch of hardware and fuses that's going to go into your battery. So I'll get into what everything is here in a second. Let me clean up and we'll get started. The tools that you'll need for this job are a socket. I have the electronic Milwaukee, very quick and easy. Don't have to sit there cranking. Interior pry tools to help unclip the previous knee board that we are replacing with the Upfitter switches. A couple sockets. So I have a 10 mil, a 13 for our fuses that sit within our battery. We may need a number 7 as well on the interior. I will get into that as we take things apart and we see what we need to use. So I'll explain that as we get there. So let's get started, guys. First step, disconnect the battery. This is a fun one. Not as deep and difficult as the last one, but this is still going to be a great project. First thing we want to do is disconnect that battery, number 10 socket. Just tuck that off to the side, out of the way. We want to take the lid off of our fuse box. Stow that off to the side. We're going to be putting in all of our fuses, so let me grab those. Alright, so I have all my fuse box hardware here, so I'm going to just pop everything into place. The bigger ones slide into the bigger sections, pretty self-explanatory. They clip into place. Just like that. Now we have our fuses at 200 here, our 60, and then I have it here, just a little spacer here that goes over this end of the 60. We have this plate that is going to sit over all 3 bolts. Make sure it is facing the right way. You'll know if it isn't because it won't seat properly. We have this arm that's going to house our power to our Upfitter switches. So I'll put that over on this end of the 200 fuse, 13mm bolt, 10mm bolts everywhere else. Here's the 13s, and then the remaining 3 are 10s. So we have our power cord that we're going to be plugging into the battery, running along the back side of our engine bay. It is chrome, it is shiny. I want to hide that, so I got this housing. I use this same exact housing or PVC here to hide it on Big Blue. So we're going to do the same thing, just tucking this wire in and working our way down. So let me get it straightened out first, and we'll start feeding it into its housing. This side plugs into your battery, and the opposite side is what we're going to be squeezing through the firewall. Going to be tight, and that's where the small hands of my daughter are going to come into play as she reaches up under behind my dashboard and I feed it down through to her. Gonna sit like that. These are the clips, or where the clips will sit on the back of the engine bay, and we'll pop them into place. All right. Cool. I put this 10mm bolt on. We just gotta take it off. Then this is going to slide over, and the bolt goes over top. And this is on your 60 amp fuse. We're going to get our tool out to properly remove these clips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them that we're going to be working our way across and clipping this up the entire way. You can manipulate this tubing so that it sits properly in the back. And as you see, the black is a nicer finish than the shiny chrome back here. Maybe you like the chrome. I personally don't, but just cleans it up, makes it give it more of a finished look. So let me grab a clip and I'll get started. So personally, I just don't like chrome. I don't know why I don't. I just think it's a cleaner finish without, especially because the truck here is white and black. I don't think a third color looks that great with it, unless it's blue, of course. Just be gentle with it so it doesn't break. It just pulls out. Then you're going to pop this on through the top. Push the bottom in first and then the top. That's going to hold it right in place. 404 Parts was kind enough to supply us with additional clips in any case that these were to break. We're going to do our best to prevent that from happening though. And I misspoke, there are only 4 clips. This is the 4th right here. I'm gonna have to remove some of this housing and cut it, but where we are running the power cord to is down back, I'll point with this, to this rubber housing. Where we're going to be running the power source is to this little nub right here. So what you'll need is a razor blade to cut the end of it off. We'll slide the power through the back of the firewall and then down underneath your dashboard. And I don't want to cut myself, so I'm going like really slow. This is honestly the hardest part, but once you get it, hopefully will be smooth sailing. Just to show you what I did, I cut off the very end of that rubber housing in the back there. That way this cord can squeeze directly through. Once it's where it needs to be, I'll pull this all the way through into the interior, and then I'll tape up around the exterior. That way no moisture can get through. Use electrical tape, duct tape, whatever you think is best. Electrical tape works for me. That way no moisture can get through. Okay, whenever you get it, don't just yell to me whenever you got it, okay? So for this, I'm just gonna weave down in between my oil catch can and the reservoir here, so I can get back to that hole that I just cut, sliding my wire through. You feel it? Reach your hand up higher back there, and I'm wiggling the wire back and forth. So had some trouble finding the wire, so we're gonna remove the knee board, the old knee board, to see if we can get any more light in there or a better vantage point to pull that wire through. So first thing, I want to pop off this fuse panel. There's one right here, one up by the vent, two up by the vent, and there's one here that's giving me a little bit of a hard time. But again, be careful that you just pull them straight out, that way they don't break. So 5 in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're gonna get the lower knee board. There's 2 clips here, and actually one below. Clip here. So a bunch of clips as you see here on the back of this one. Again, just pull straight down, straight out. Next, we have that 7mm bolt. And a couple of clips that we're going to be getting this piece off with. Let's get this piece off first, this little gray piece. We can start from the back. Here. Slides right out. Let's jump up here to the rest. One clip down there that I gotta get out. It seems to be stuck. I'm gonna have to get it from the passenger side in the correct direction. Okay. There it goes. There we go. Cool. Perfect. So as you see, a bunch of clips on the back side of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in all that are going to pop off. Basically, our next piece is going to go right on top. But first, let's work on getting that cable, the power source, through the firewall. We'll find that. Mount our fuse box. Start piecing it all back together, guys. You can hear it? All right. Oh, I felt that. Yeah, I felt you push back. You're pushing it out. Oh, I got it. It's definitely tight. Yeah, I have it. Can you push it through? I don't have the leverage to pull. All right, hold on, Kate. It's stuck now. I had it. I just couldn't. I don't know where to go. I lost it. Push. All right, I got it. Stop. I'm gonna push it through the rest of the way. Reach under. Thank you, Kay. Ready? You see it? It's hanging there by itself. You can see it this time. You see, it's up. Dang it, where'd it go? Son of a bitch, we had it. Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Hold on, I got it now, I think. Yeah, see this little cord, this black one? It's right behind it. There's like a little chrome piece right here, okay? Mm-hmm. So if you follow there's like a little cord. If you follow the gas pedal up, it's right next to it.
Okay.
Just keep your finger on it. You don't have to hang on to it. Or if you can pinch it with your fingers, that'd be cool. Ready? Okay, pull it tight. Pull it, pull it, pull it. Sweet. Thank you. I need water after that. The cable's coming up if you follow the gas pedal all the way up behind the dash and up on the back side of the firewall. The way we found it is we wiggled the cord on the engine bay side, and on the interior one of us put our hands up and either felt around or listened for where it was coming through until we could pinch the wire and pull it down, while the other person on the engine side pushed and fed the wire through. I'm going to weave it up and over this vent here just to keep it out of the way, nothing's hanging. But before I do that, I am going to put it in to its respective clip. So this is provided again by 404 parts. Red clip, right side, and it's going to slide in until it clips into place. And once it's in, it's in, guys. That's final. So now we're gonna weave it over the top, and that'll be ready after we mount our fuse box. The fuse box is going to mount up underneath. There's 2 holes here. It's gonna sit right up underneath. The key part is you wanna make sure your fuse panel is accessible. So fuse is down, and this is the front of it that is gonna meet here. There are 2 7mm screws, which are provided by 404 parts to mount this behind your dash. Cool. You have to tug on it and say, that ain't going nowhere. That's required. And lastly, we have that plug underneath here. Let me show you on this side. The red clip that we just did is going to plug into this housing right on the back side of here. Then you have that red clip, which is the locking mechanism. You're going to push that down all the way. Hear it click into place, then push the red clip down. It's locked into place. All right, next we're going to apply this harness. Basically, this is a middle ground harness that connects the power to the upfitter switches to the truck. So we are going to put the female end up under the dash here. You'll hear it click into place. Slightest click there. And I'm going to weave this up and over some things in the back, that way it's not hanging down here. I have a vent that I'm gonna go over. And I'm gonna do the same with this piece here. Let's see. And again, we are going to click these together once I can get there. Let's see. lock it, and again, you can tuck it back where you need to. And there's a perfect little black lever or arm here in the frame that you can zip tie it to or hook it over, which I just hooked it over. Now we have this harness that we are going to run to our back, the back of our center console, where we're going to tap into the USB. But before we do that, I'm going to run this cable up and over the vent here. Again, just so it holds all excess. Get it around my brake pedal.
You did that yesterday too.
Yeah, I know. And I can see it there. There we go. And before I move anything else, I'm just going to clip this in the back. There's a little hole here where this is going to basically hold this in place, prevent it from being pulled. There we go. And that'll sit just like that, holds it in place, that way it cannot be pulled out. Alright, now that I have this ready to go, I'm going to tuck it down here. And reach my hand up from the back. That will allow me to pull the excess here. I'm going over the fuse box. There we go. Over the fuse box and pulling it tight, and I can feed it all the way underneath to the back of the center console. Now we're going to pop off the cup holders here and this back plate. So let me show you. In the past, I did this on Big Blue. Just be very careful with this piece because it is thin. You don't want to crack it. As you see, it starts flexing. Certain areas you'll find to open this up completely to where it will pop right off. You just got to find the clips. There is one right in the center here. I'm trying to get around. It sits right here and right here. You want to get a little bit at a time. You can feel it move up. Difficult time. There we go. Got like one or two more clips here. Two more. You can see them. Now that we got the frame out, we can pop the cup holder right out. It's just a rubber piece here. Pops right out. And we need, it looks like a T15 screw. So let me go grab that. Alright, so we need that T15. Put that right in the cup holder. Now that that's off, we have to pop the top of this off. So, coming in, find a good vantage point. I'm just going to come in from the back here. Yep. Oh. Just had it. piece just pops straight up, and we're in. Now that we're in there, we have another T15 right here. And we need to pop this straight back. Once you are here, we have our USB. This is the port that we are going to tap into. So I'm grabbing the wires down below. So before you plug your wiring in, you have to just make sure that the wire itself is seated behind this panel completely before you plug in. That way it's not too tight and you're good to go. Now we are going to disconnect the USB. It has the red clip. Pull the clip out, push the black button down and pull out. Pretty plain and simple. Male end goes into the female end of the wiring kit provided. Lock it in place. Then the male end here goes into the USB, which is still going to allow you to pull power from the USB. Now we're going to make sure our vents align, everything lines up, and just lock it into place. Start from the bottom, work your way up. Secure that T15 screw we put in or took out right here. Put the cup holders back into place. It's just going to pop right down into place. Once it's locked in place properly, T15 right in the middle. Then the rubber cup holder itself can go into place. And the clips around, or the framing around it, make sure it's facing the correct way. Now that it's there, we're good to go and finish up the front. We got our switch panel here. I'm gonna begin putting it into place without locking it down yet. Just getting it around everything. We're gonna plug in the actual power to it here. Got here it clip into place. There we go, and then the red clip blocks it. Now we can start mounting our panel where it goes. Make sure all of our clips line up. Cool. Nice clean finish on this side. Work my way over here. Okay. Looks like everything's seated properly. This piece slides in from over here. The forward part slides under first, and then you're just gonna pop the rest on. All right. We got one 7mm screw that's gonna secure this here. Once that is in, make sure our clips all line up where they need to go. Go, and it cleans it up really nice and neat there. Last one, last panel right here. There we go, it's in place. Pop it into place and it locks it in place just like that. We do have our power cords hanging. I'm going to tuck those aside here momentarily. Also, what I want to do is I want to get this power cord secured. I'm just going to find a spot to zip tie that and secure it up out of the way. There's lots of metal framing up here, so I'm just going to use that. Then you can cut the excess off. Now all we have to do, 2 steps here. First one, reconnect our battery, 10mm socket. And then put our cover back on. Cool, that clipped into place. Everything is all finished underneath the hood. Now that we're reconnected, we can test out our aux switches and see that they are working. I do need to crimp out or crimp the wiring, I should say. Down here we have our blue wire, which is aux 1, our gray wire, aux 2, brown, aux 3, and then yellow, aux 4. So in order to test them, I have this awesome crimping tool. I'll put it in the links below. You definitely need one of these if you are going to do any wiring on your vehicle. As you see, made it really easy. The copper's exposed. I have this little testing tool as well. I'll put that in the link below. You find a ground underneath and clip to it. There's a nice little metal bracket right here where you can clip onto. Then we're going to press button 1, aux 1, turn that on. I'm going to touch the light or the wire here. We have power. As you see, it lights up. Let's go to number 2. Number 2 on, number 2 power. Brown wire is number 3. Number 3 on, number 3 power. Last but not least, number 4. I know there's 5 switches. I'll explain where the 5th wire is hidden. Number 4 on, and number 4 power. First 4 switches all work. Number 5 is a wire that is hidden underneath here. It is, I believe it is your white wire here. I don't want to use that one yet. I'm going to keep that one where it's at. But just going to wrap some electrical tape underneath for these and get these tucked away. They're pretty solid, so you can just bend them, hide them underneath. They're not going to fall under. So that's all you need to do to test your wires, guys. We have another successful job completed. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Successful install from 404 Parts. Got the Upfitter switches ready to go. Now, just need to add some lights. Stay tuned for more in the future whenever I add those lights. If you like this video, hit that like button and do not forget to leave a comment down below, subscribe, and hit that alert button. We will see you guys next time. Take care.